First at 9.
Coming to you live and direct from the News First newsroom here in Colombo. This is News First Primetime News at 9. I'm Ramesh Bandara.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we go into your stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
Headlines on News First at 9.
Chief Ministers and Ministers of the Northwestern and Central Provinces sworn in before the President. Exotic dancer who was at the center of much controversy for the illegal possession of a cobra handed down a 3-month prison sentence, suspended for 5 years. Clash at the Southeastern University leaves 23 injured. Police make 41 arrests. The Sri Lanka Amadhya Mahasabha questions why liquor outlets close to the temple of the sacred tooth relic cannot be shut down. Another water issue in Ratapaswala.
සබැලස මම විතරයි නෙවෙයි වතුර බොන්නේ මේ මුළු ගම් තුලාවක්ම වතුර බොන්න එපා.
News First at 9.
Welcome back to the news. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has called on all candidates who emerge victorious at the concluded provincial council polls to set aside all differences and join the Mahinda Chintana program and dedicate themselves to implementing these ideas.
The President made this statement at an event held at the President's office today to swear in the new Chief Ministers of the Central and Northwestern Provincial Councils.
Dasir Jayasekara was sworn in as the Chief Minister of the Northwestern Province and took up the provincial ministerial portfolios of Finance and Planning, Law and Order, Local Government and Provincial Administration, Human Resources, Education and Cultural Affairs, Land, Environment, Tourism, Investment Coordination, Cooperative Development and Food Supply and Distribution. K. Sanat Nishanta was sworn in as the Provincial Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Livestock Produce and Development, Mine Irrigation and Agrarian Development. Sandhya Samantha Kumara Rajapaksa was sworn in as the Northwestern Provincial Minister of Social Welfare, Probation, Children's and Women's Affairs, Rural Industry Development and Rural Development. Gunadasa Dehigama was sworn in as the Provincial Minister of Road Development, Transportation, Power and Housing Construction. H.M. Dharmasiri Bandara Herath was sworn in as the Provincial Minister of Health, Indigenous Medicine, Sports and Youth Affairs. Meanwhile, former Chief Minister of the Central Province, Sarath Ekanayake, took oath as the Chief Minister of the province for the 3rd time today before President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Ekanayake was second in terms of preferential voting in the Kandy district. In addition, Ekanayake also took up the provincial ministerial portfolios of Finance and Planning, Law and Order, Local Government and Provincial Administration, Human Resources, Education and Cultural Affairs, Land, Trade and Commerce, Investment Coordination, Food Supply and Distribution. B.S. Bandari Yaligama was sworn in as the Provincial Minister of Health, Indigenous Medicine, Social Welfare and Probation and Child Protection Services. Ramasamy Muttaya was sworn in as the Central Province Minister of Agriculture, Mine Irrigation, Livestock Produce and Development, Agrarian Development, Fisheries, Environmental Affairs, Hindu Cultural Affairs and Estate Infrastructure. Edrivira Veerawardena was sworn in as the Central Province Minister of Road Development, Transportation, Power and Energy and Housing and Construction. T.M. Pramita Bandara Tennakon was sworn in as the Central Province Minister of Sports, Youth Affairs, Women's Affairs, Rural Development and Industry.
We see your victory as a victory of the people and as our victory. I ask you that you be humbled by this victory rather than become intoxicated by it.
A woman who was employed at a nightclub in Kolpiti, who pleaded guilty to the charge of possessing a cobra illegally, has been handed down a sentence of 3 months in prison, suspended for 5 years.
Now the verdict was issued when the case was taken up before Court Magistrate Thilna Gamage.
In addition to the suspended prison sentence, the accused was ordered to pay a fine of 100 rupees.
On the 28th of August last year, the accused was arrested by the Kolpiti police and was released on bail after she was presented before court. 23 students that were injured in clashes that broke out between two groups of students at the Applied Sciences faculty of the Southeastern University located in Samanture have been admitted to the Samanture-based hospital.
The police noted that 6 female students were among those injured in the clashes. The clash broke out after an argument between a group of second and third year students at the Faculty of Applied Science escalated. The Samanture police have arrested 41 third year students in connection with the clashes. The police said the argument was based on a problem at a hostel. Police officers have been deployed at the Southeastern University's Faculty of Applied Sciences in Samanture for security purposes.
Today, there has been no solution to the water crisis that crippled Ratupaswala and its surrounding areas.
That's right. Convening a media briefing today, Edward residents noted that the measure to supply water in Bowsers, which was accepted as a temporary solution to this issue, is not being implemented properly.
The people are not receiving water from the Bowsers on a daily basis. This is a grave injustice. Do not try to teach a lesson to the people because the people have already been severely inconvenienced. The people receive water once in 4 or 5 days. We are not ready to pay for our water. We call on the officials to provide us the necessary water. The usage of Bowsers to fill up water tanks located around Ratupaswala was suggested as a solution to the Ratupaswala water issue after 3 lives were lost during the unrest there. News First toured the area today as we received word that this temporary solution is not being implemented in a proper manner.
We receive water only once a week. It is insufficient. We need at least 2 tanks of water on a daily basis. There has been no water for nearly a week. When we ask them why, they say that we are using the water to bathe. We have never bathed using this water. Now they don't give us water.
The driver of a water bowser also shared his thoughts with News First. We distribute about 60,000 to 84,000 litres of water in the Mahara area only on a daily basis. We do it continuously. News First inquired about the matter from the chairman of the Gampa Pradesh Sabha, W.A. Ranjit Gunawardena. We provide water on a daily basis to all the tanks. We are taking all measures to distribute water to the Ratupaswala, Nadungamua, Galluluwa and Veliveri areas. We distributed water given to us by the Water Supply and Drainage Board. Organizations may make various accusations. However, we have not met with these organizations. We have already laid over 98% of the pipes for pipe-borne water. That is why people need to take steps to obtain tap water. They have only laid the pipes along the main roads. They charge that the people are not obtaining the pipe-borne water. There are Grama Seva officers in every village. They have the necessary data on all families. These Grama Seva officers can provide the data to the Water Supply and Drainage Board and they can take steps to solve this crisis. I am not the only one who drinks water. People in all these villages need water as well. Just because my water tank is filled, this problem will not solve itself. Water should be provided to all people if this issue is to be rectified.
The Sri Lanka Teetotalers Council or Amaddipa Mahasabha questions as to why steps have not been taken to remove liquor outlets located in the vicinity of the sacred temple of the Tooth Relic in Kandy.
At a media briefing convened today, a collective of teetotalers organizations including the Sri Lanka Amaddipa Mahasabha noted the importance of making the Matata Tita Manifesto a practical reality given that today is Teetotalers Day. A letter that is to be submitted to the President in this regard was also unveiled at this media briefing. We ask that as a first step, measures be taken to close all liquor outlets in the vicinity of the sacred temple of the Tooth Relic and that the necessary legal framework be introduced to minimize smoking in the area so that this can be a free country. As monks, the chief prelates and us are together here asking that this be enforced. We are prepared to organize all the monks in the country and turn the Matata Tita concept into a practical reality. Innocent and learned young people have destroyed their assets and have dragged their parents onto the streets as well. Parents are cursing these things and everyone involved in it, and in the future these people will feel these curses.
සියලුම දෙනාට මේ සාපේ වදීවි අනාගතයේදී.
වසර 10කට
The Excise Commissioner says that outlets that were licensed over 10 years ago cannot be removed.
දිනේ ඉතින් මේ රටේ ජනාධිපතිවරයාට ගෑණිය මිනිහෙක් කරන්න බෑ මිනිහෙක් ගෑණිය අනික ඔක්කොම කරන්න පුළුවන්.
Can we not close down the 9 taverns in the vicinity of the Temple of the Tooth Relic? Why can we not? We ask that they at least carry out this task on World Teetotalers Day. Following the media briefing, the group held religious observances opposite the Buddhist Federation headquarters. The intention of these observances was to pray that the leaders and the rulers of the country would receive the knowledge to create a country free of intoxicants.
On the business news tonight, the Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. Sarath Amunugama, has called on the Excise Department to investigate whether the moonshine industry can be turned into one which can be taxed.
The Deputy Minister made this request during an event held in Colombo today.
The 62nd anniversary celebration of the All Island Excise Officers and Regulators Union was held today under the auspices of Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. Sarath Amunugama.
විශාල වශයෙන් නීති විරෝධී මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය තියෙනවා. කසිප්පු තියෙනවා.
There are numerous illegal intoxicants in Sri Lanka. This affects our income. Because substances like moonshine are not taxed, nor are they regulated. Many people who produce moonshine ask us why it is not legalized and taxed. We should look into it, think about it and send in your recommendations through the Commissioner. Sometimes I see criticism in the papers that the sale of alcohol has increased. All the programs such as Mathata Thitha are present. But you need to keep in mind that the population is growing. The Ministry of Finance doesn't want to enter this debate. All we are saying is that if people use it, then it should be something that is legal and they should pay taxes to the government. We have a problem in our country. We need to increase our income. We can invest only if we are able to increase our income. If we cannot do this, there will be dire consequences to our economy.
කරගන්න තරමට තමයි අපිට රටේ ආයෝජනය කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැති වුණොත් ආර්ථිකයට භයානක ප්‍රතිඵල එනවා.
On to other local news now. A business from the Dunbar area in Hatton who was allegedly abducted was released in the Alutgal area in Hatton this morning. Malan Vijayaratna, a 33-year-old father of 3, was abducted last night. He charged that a group had threatened and extorted money from him since March last year. They asked for $1 million. I told them that I only had a small shop. They said that they don't care about those things and that they would harm my wife or child. I promised them that I will pay in small amounts. Thereby, he had so far paid almost 450,000 rupees to the group. Yesterday, they had called again and demanded for a further 150,000 rupees. They told me to come to the Carolina estate. I took the bus and got off near the estate. As I was walking up to it, I saw a van. One of them got off the van. He was very dark and was wearing a checkered t-shirt with dark colored trousers. He asked me for the money and I said I had it. He then told me to get into the van and blindfolded me. Malan Vijayaratna said that the group continued to assault him. He was eventually dropped off in the Atugalla area in Hatton this morning. Vijayaratna, who lodged a complaint with the Hatton police about the incident, is currently receiving treatment at the Hatton-Dikoya Base Hospital. A hospital spokesperson said that his condition was not critical.
When News First inquired into the situation from the police media spokesperson, he said that such an incident has been reported and investigations are underway.
On to another top story that we are following here at News First. According to UNP spokesperson Ganta Karunathilaka, the leader of the UNP has accepted the letter of resignation submitted by MP Tissa Rattanayake as the organizer of the Kundasale electorate.
Ganta Karunathilaka noted that the party will take steps to appoint an individual to the post of organizer of the Kundasale electorate in the future.